Good afternoon, you all. Welcome to Straight from the Dome, session number 22, coming to you from the parking lot of my church, inside of my new addition to the family, baby SS. Today, session is entitled The Prodigal Son. As you all know, this was a short story or one of among many parables that Jesus used to tell his disciples or whomever he's speaking with how to help them understand what he was saying better. Jesus loves to explain things by using parables. And this particular parable, the prodigal son, was used to make a couple of points about family life, circumstances, compassion, impatience, and envy. Learning points. What is prodigal? Prodigal is a person who spends money in a reckless, extravagant way, just spending money on unnecessary stuff. Many of us can relate to that. I'm guilty myself in some things, When we get lump sums of money, that really explains, it's self-evident what type of person we are. Because if we out here spending recklessly, and not saving a dime, you can tell we ain't never had nothing. Because a person that's used to having money, they have learned how to spend their money. They have learned how to conserve and how to bring that money back. You know what I mean? How to use the money to make money. They spend with common sense. So you can tell a person that has had money before from a person that ain't never had nothing in their life. So, how you use what you have is very important. Let's put ourselves into character right now, okay? As I tell this parable that Jesus told to his own disciples, molding them for their journey to save souls as well as their own souls. Let's get it crunk. A particular man had two sons, okay? And the younger of the two said to his father, "Give me the portion of goods that falls to me." Meaning whatever the father was going to leave him once the father had passed away, the son wanted his now. He didn't want to wait. He wanted it now. So the father divided his livelihood amongst his sons. Days after that, the baby boy gathered all his stuff from it that his dad gave him and journeyed to a country far away and wasted all he had, living prodigal, which is why he was called the prodigal son. But once he had spent it all, he hit rock bottom, honey. He began to be in want because it had arose a severe famine in that land. He went and joined citizenship within that country. He went into the fields to feed swine, where he would also fill his own stomach with the pods of that which the swine ate. And no one gave him nothing. And I mean not a thing. But when he came to himself, came to his senses, he was like, "Look, how many of my father's servants have bread to spare me because I'm going to perish in hunger?" So the son decided to go to his father. And he felt that he was not fit to be called his father's son anymore. But he would be just as happy being a servant. But when his father seen him coming, his heart felt with compassion. Not pity, but compassion. And his dad just ran to him and loved on him, hugging and kissing him. He was so happy that his son was not dead and was yet alive. But I'm telling you, and you know what that dad did immediately? Immediately he told his servants, go get the best robe and put it on my son. Get a ring and put it on his hand. Get a fattened calf and bring it back so we can have a feast, because we about to celebrate my son being home. And those servants did just as the father had said. But let me tell you, they were celebrating. But let me tell you, that oldest son was in the field, honey. He was on his way home. And he heard the music. He saw the dancing. And as he got closer, he called one of the servants over. He was like, look, what is going on here? What is the celebration? He didn't know what to think. And that servant said, look, honey, your dad pulled out the red carpet for your brother, honey, because he is home. He is alive. That son got so furious. He didn't know what to do with himself. That dad came outside, honey, and he was trying to plead with his son and, explain things, honey. But that oldest boy won't have it. He said, out of all the years I stayed with you, I served you, and I never went against the grain. You never gave me no fattened calf, no goat. We ain't never celebrate, have no party, for I can be merry and enjoy with my friends. But you gonna do all of that for my brother, your son, that took all what you gave him and threw it away on whores and everything else that he ain't had no business spending on. And he get a party? And I ain't never had no party? And the father told him, look, you're always with me. You've been with me from day one. Everything I got is yours. It's only right that we celebrate your baby brother because he is alive and he is with us. So, the lesson in this is like, as the younger child, he ain't had no business going to stepping to his daddy with that nonsense, because the man wasn't even dead yet. So, you got some nerve. I wish you would come to me and talk about, I want what you going to give me now and not later. It's going to take God to hold me back. But honey, I'm telling you, that's a lesson, the youngest sibling in any family. Be patient, be loving, and don't be selfish. God expects us as parents to raise our children up to adulthood, from birth to adulthood, in a way that is holy, safe, and full of love. He also expects us to leave our children a survival kit, a legacy. In the Bible days, it was about land, leaving the children land, for it can be passed on. If there were sons, the oldest son would get double the portion. If there weren't any sons, the daughters can inherit the land. If there weren't no children, then the next of kin will inherit the land. That's in the Bible days, But things and mindset and people and this world has changed. These people have become unbearable when it comes to land, money, and possessions. And God knows this. And just like I said, God wants us to leave a legacy of survival. That means God's love, our compassion, our humbleness, our forgiveness, and our sense of worship. That is what we leave for our children. That's the survival kit that they need. As an older child, the older sibling, The lesson in this parable is to don't have anger and jealousy. Even though your younger sibling may seem like they getting more love and more attention, and that, it seems like it's taken away from you, it's not. Every child is different. It is not a matter of loving one more than the other, or not loving one and loving the other. It's because how you express your love will be different. It will be different. Only a parent that has two or more children can understand where I'm coming from with this. Because one child may not be affectionate. They don't want all this, huggy, touchy, feely stuff. There is another way that you have to learn your child in order to connect with that child, to help them understand how much you love them as a parent. And then the other child might be quite the opposite. They might want you to hug them all the time, tell them you love them all the time, and kiss them on the forehead and on the cheek, when you see them or you greet them or you they go to bed at night. They want this in order to feel loved. So bottom line, as parents, we all love our children. Some may venture off, some may stay around, some may straddle the fence, some may not. Some may decide exactly what they want in the spiritual realm. Some may be carnal. Some may become parents and some may not. Some may become criminals and some may not. Some may become famous and some may not. Some may be the prodigal child and some may be quite the opposite. But regardless, we have to make wise decisions and be fair as parents. Know how to love that child in a way that corresponds to that particular child. Never as parents do we compare our children. Never do we curse our children, speak evil against them. Never do we give up on our children. Never do we stop praying for them. Yes, at a given time, we have to let them go and let them learn on their own life's lessons. But if we have instilled good values, good spirits, and good qualities within our children, they have the kit of survival. And they will eventually stare back if they wander off for a while. We can't dictate once they are of a responsible age. We can only advise and pray. My children are 28 and 19. They are in very different spaces right now. The younger is learning what to do and what not to do from her older siblings. And my oldest sibling and my oldest child has learned from me how to do certain things and how she wants to change certain things with her own children. And that's fine. But what I instilled in her won't go anywhere. It's going to always be there. Times now are way harder than when it was when my children were growing up. So different specifics have changed. But one thing never changes in time. We got to have Jesus in our homes, in our hearts, and in our day-to-day living in order to have peace, compassion, and understanding. When Jesus isn't present in the home, the focus of each individual becomes a contrast between them. And then there's hurt, it's jealousy, and it's rebellion. So the one thing that will never change is instilling Jesus Christ in your children. Because I might have made mistakes, but honey, I made sure they know who Jesus was and why he came. And why we got to be spiritually inclined. Children, love on your parents while you still have them. Because when they're gone, honey, that's it. Ain't no coming back. They are gone. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to love you unconditionally like your parents do. No matter how much we fuss or how much we seem like we on your back, it's only to mold you into what you need to be in order to survive in this world today. This world is cruel It's unfair, and you got to be equipped with Jesus in your corner to get over some of these hurdles. Right now, I'm within a living testimony. But God sent his angels right in the nick of time. He may not come when you want him, but honey, he'll be there right on time. I'm telling you, and I thank God every day for what he's doing in my life. Honey, that little bit of rain ain't nothing like the sunshine. I'm telling you, it's nothing like it. Straight from the dome, I would like to take this time to extend the greatest gratitude to my YouTube subscribers. I pray within the time of this ministry that somebody's soul has been saved from sin. If today is your day, we welcome you into the family of Christ. No, it's not easy, but nothing worthwhile ever is. If today wasn't your day, don't wait too long, because the sky can split sometime today, and Jesus came or will come, and you will not be ready. And I don't want this. I do not want that. You are not ever going to be sin free, but none of us will. But you will have everlasting life after this one, if you put that E forward to do right by God and love your neighbor as yourself. I'm telling you, you cannot lose. Sometimes you got to let go of some negative things and negative people in order to move forward. But you need Jesus in your life. Because with God, all things are possible. And you can't do nothing without God. Nothing. From me to you, I love you. And I hope you all have an awesome week. And I hope that you will find it in your hearts to join me next weekend on Straight from the Dome. Peace.